Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Buffalo
Giants
podcast.
Awesome. Well, Five, we got a couple games for you here. We got two Keep Four Cut Fours for you. The first one we'll say is all Giants. Some all are retired or not playing for them anymore, so it'll be quite fun for you.
Okay.
You know how this game works?
I believe I was given a rundown, but I'm not sure. If you could recap me again, that would help.
So with this game, you're going to keep four of these players and cut four of them, but you don't know who's going to come next. So you're flying blind.
Okay. I'm going to keep four and cut four. All right. I'm going to put it on both hands. This is keep over here, I think. All right. Actually, right hand is keep because I'm better with the right hand, and cut is over here. Okay. Let's do it.
All right. So your first player is going to be LT, Lawrence Taylor.
LT is definitely on the keep squad over here. So this one's down. Well, one down. LT is going to be kept all day. He's the reason I'm a Giants fan. So
there's fair.
no even hesitation there. Got it.
The next one I got for you is Flexico Burris.
Ooh, that is tough. He caught the touchdown in Super Bowl 42, and I have no idea what's coming. Oh, and I can only keep three more. He shot himself like Cheddar Bob, ruined the 2012 season. But he's also one of the great, you know what, there's better receivers. I got a feeling that, Amani Toomer or somebody's coming later. I'm gonna cut Plaxico Burress.
Okay. Your third one is Michael Strahan.
I'm gonna keep Strahan all day. He's a Hall of Famer. He has the sack record. I witnessed him get the sack record against Brett Favre. I was actually there at Giants Stadium when it happened. It was amazing. It was the most giveaway sack I've ever seen in my life. The entire line crashed left, and Brett Favre ran a naked boot out to the right with no blockers or anything, and Michael Strahan just stood there and touched him. It was a joke, and I cannot believe Myles Garrett doesn't have the record yet, but I think he'll get it on Sunday. So,
quick question? Do you think they'll give it to him either way, whoever he plays?
Garrett, I think Garrett will get it the honest way. He's just so good. I think that they won't double team him or any crap like that. They'll just make him beat him one-on-one, but he'll do it.
Awesome. I thought he was going to get it. I thought he was going to get it on Rodgers this week. I'm shocked. But that's your second keep. We're keeping Michael Strahan. So number 4, we got Jay Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey, I'm cutting. He was he wasn't there for most of the time. He didn't even play in the Super Bowl. Kevin Boss kind of made him obsolete. Yes, he had some great highlights. He destroyed that safety on Indianapolis in the preseason. I forget who it was. He just bent him backwards. But Shockey was annoying at times, and he dropped that ball in that playoff game that would have sealed that win. So I'm going to cut Jeremy Shockey.
Okay. Number 5 is going to be Philip Sims. Or Phil Sims. He's not Philip.
Phil Sims. So I know that we have 3 more players is what you're saying. And I'm willing to bet that one of them is Eli Manning. So I'm going to cut Phil Sims. Even though I love Phil Sims, I saw him with one of the greatest Super Bowl performances ever. But my money has me at that Eli is coming down the line. So I'm going to cut Phil.
So that means you were at the Bills-Giants Super Bowl.
I saw that one. No, I didn't. I wasn't there, but I think I was 10. I don't know. I was very young. No, the first one I saw was Denver, where they just crushed them. And then, but that's the game where Phil Sims was unbelievable. And then the next one was Giants, and Hostetler was the quarterback.
Yeah, Hostetler was the quarterback. But that was still Phil Sims' team. He was just hurt, right?
Yeah. I think Hostetler actually was the better option. He was more athletic. He ran the bootleg a lot better, and that was what kind of allowed them to beat San Francisco, which was such a good team. Like, that was a Hall of Fame. was like beating the 85 Bears. People sleep on how the Giants upset that team.
Right.
So yeah, that was Phil Simms got a second ring, but Hostetler made it happen.
Right. All right. So player 6, you got Tiki Barber.
Man, that means that if I cut Tiki, that means that there's going to be someone that I don't like that I end up keeping. But Tiki kind of clowned Eli, and I don't take Eli's slander kindly. And Tiki's kind of a jackass in some ways. So I'm going to cut Tiki Barber. So that means that I have to keep these next two no matter what.
You got to keep the last two. You're getting at Jacobs, Brandon Jacobs.
Okay, yeah, big Brandon.
That was my original pick.
We were going back and forth on Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs, so I like that.
Yeah, I didn't remember Navarro Bowman being a Giant. So yeah, I got Brandon. So I got LT, Strahan, Brandon Jacobs, and Eli Manning.
Correct.
So my bet paid off.
That's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty good.
If you could switch one player, who would you have switched?
I don't think I would. Brandon Jacobs, solid choice. He went to Auburn. He got that 4th down conversion in Super Bowl 42. Without him, the Giants don't have 2 rings. So I'm gonna go with big Brandon.
All right, I'm gonna let Brian do his version of this for you.
Yeah. So I've also got a Q4 cut for you, Five, and this one we're gonna go kickers. I think I've been doing some research. Watching your channel the last couple of weeks, and in fact, pretty much all of this season, and I see a consistent theme, and that is kickers. So I thought you would love to go through a list of kickers and tell me who you would like to keep and cut. So these kickers, they're going to be, I would say, all after 1990. So during our lifetimes. There are 3 of them still playing. 4 of them, still playing, and 4 are retired. All right, so those are your hints going in. We're going to start it off with number 1, Adam Vinatieri Jr.
Junior, you mean the guy that played for the Patriots? Does he have a kid now playing?
He does have a kid now named Adam Vinatieri. That's correct.
And is he a kicker?
I'm legally required to put the junior in there. Yes, that's the only reason why you're hearing that.
If we're talking about the Adam Vinatieri from the Patriots, I'm taking him.
I figured you would. I wanted to start you off nice and easy. So, all right, so you're going to keep
an all-time kicker right there.
That's right. So, number 2, Chris Boswell.
Boswell's good for the Steelers. Like, he's really good. I don't know if he's an all-timer, though. I got a feeling that there's some shitty kickers in here. Like, you're gonna throw some like Josh Brown type crap at me, or the Money Badger. I'm gonna cut Chris Boswell just to see what comes down the road.
All right. So we got 1 keep, 1 cut. We're keeping Adam Vinatieri. The next one on this list, Sebastian Janikowski.
I'm going to keep Seabass just for the fact that he would GHB himself. Like, that's a guy that knows how to party, right? Like,
right.
Seabass would be like, screw it. I'm gonna knock myself out and see what happens. And he once attempted a 76-yard field goal. I remember that. Missed badly, but he tried. I think he was a 1st-round pick, I want to say.
That is correct, and you are right on the 70-yarder as well. I believe that was 10 years before we started seeing 65-yarders go through and stuff like that. But yeah, Seabass, had to give you a throwback there. Next one's also a throwback. It's Steven Gostkowski.
I'm going to cut Gostkowski. Gostkowski was secretly one of the worst kickers ever. He missed an extra point in the Super Bowl. He missed a lot of clutch field goals. I mean, he has a couple rings, but I don't think he was that great of a kicker. And he came on the heels of Vinatieri. I think if Vinatieri, if they had that level quality of kicking, they probably would have had 2 more Super Bowls.
At our expense, so I'm glad that that didn't happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But moving on, we're going to go to number 5, Justin Tucker.
Ooh, Legatron. Wow, this one's tough because statistically and leg wise, he's a all timer. Like he's one of the greatest. He's character wise, we don't know. He has allegations. He's got some Deshaun Watson type allegations. I don't know if I want to deal with the circus. I'm going to cut Justin Tucker just because
Okay.
we're running a hypothetical team here. I got to have hypothetical harmony.
All
Okay,
right. All
so
right.
Right.
So
I agree.
we're getting down to the business end here. We're on number 6, and that is Matt Prater.
ooh, I'm gonna take Prater. Prater is an all-timer. He's clutch. He played for multiple organizations. I believe the Lions, Cardinals, and Broncos. He kicked successfully everywhere. At one point, he held the NFL record at 65 yards. I'm gonna keep Prater. Let's go.
Very good. So just to
I miss
recap.
him dearly.
Yeah. So just to recap, we're going to keep Adam Vinatieri, Sebastian Ganikowski, and Matt Prater. We've got 2 left to go. Our number 7 kicker is Graham Gano.
I'm gonna cut him so fast that it actually hurts him physically. Like, actually, you know what? I wouldn't want him to be hurt physically. He'll take care of that all on his own. I think Graham Gano was a bad signing when they made it, and they signed him for 3 years. And it's going to be probably the albatross around Joe Shane's neck for the rest of his life in terms of one of his horrible moves where he just I don't know if he did his homework on Gano. You don't sign a kicker for 3 years anyways. It just doesn't make any sense. And then the fact that it just didn't work out. He's constantly injured. He cost us 2 games directly from his folly. Like, I don't hate the guy. I think he's a guy that probably shows up to work and wants to ply his craft. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. He just didn't show up for us, and that's unfortunate.
Well, Five, I laid you a trap here, and you unfortunately have walked straight into it. Your number 8 kicker, who you're going to be keeping, is Youngwei Koo.
You know what? Team Asian. Let's give it up for my boy. You know what? That missed kick where he just pulled up. That wasn't his fault. That was Jamie Gillen's fault. I'm not going to blame him for that. Youngwei Koo had a 9-year career in the NFL, and so I'm gonna him and Kaimi Fairburn. Those are my boys. So I'm not upset with that. In some ways, I think Koo was a better kicker than Gano because he actually showed up to work.
He was a legend for the Falcons for most of his career too.
Yes, he was. Mm-hmm.
Save them from some turmoil, but I had to slip him in there given that missed kick a few weeks ago, which
that was
certainly
bad.
made the rounds. I obviously watched that Tank Mega Bowl video, and I know that was a fixture on that as well. So just wanted to give you a little jab there. Was happy that you ended up having to keep him in the end. But James, we're gonna move on to some questions. I think you want to kick us off.
Would you have wanted the Giants to start Russ yesterday for this mega tank bowl?
Not really. I guess, the whole thing is that we need Dart to develop. He needs to get more film. He needs more looks. He needs to start preparing for 2026 next year. I didn't see a negative. We were going to win the game. He had an easy day. He did what Dart does, which is throw for touchdown, rush for touchdown. I think, I don't know if there's any value to having him play next week, but I think they'll have him for a half or something and have a look at him. But I don't think Russ doesn't have much left in it. It would be nice, for Russ to have a send-off or something like that if but I think Russ thinks he can play again somewhere. So I think he's that delusional. But
I agree.
And I don't think Russ Wilson is a bad guy at all either. He just if Jackson Dart's starting, then the Giants maybe win 5 games, but they've been bad this year, really bad.
All right. Well, next up, again, did my homework, watched some of your videos coming into this interview. I wanted to know, where did the $50 for a gritty come from?
I was just thinking, like everyone had a $50 celebration. Like, Tom does 50 for the kitty. which he does the boop,
Boop for the
and
king.
then and then Tree does the boop he boops Jesus. He's got to praise the Jeebus for 50, and I was like, I need a something, and I was like, all right, 50 for the gritty. I just had it, and it would give me an opportunity to practice my gritty in front of people. So I was like, all right, I have a very unseasoned gritty, but I'm gonna do it every time, and it's gonna be awkward and cringe, but I don't really care.
Hey, well, it's
You think you
always going
got
to be
better
better
at
than
it
Mike
at all?
Gesicki, right? So
What's that?
it's always going to
Do
be
you
better
think
than
you've
Mike
gotten it?
Gesicki, right?
Yes. Mike Gesicki's was so unseasoned. It was like bland chicken just being boiled. And yes, I've gotten better at it as I've practiced more. I like to think. I bet Scooter thinks it's terrible, but I don't
Well,
know what Brandon does. Does Brandon do anything when he gets 50? I don't think so. He's just
I mean, I feel like he just plays a video and it's like Johnny John.
Oh yeah. That's what he does. Yeah. So we all have our things. You have to make it engaging and show the appreciation. I like to do the physical bit. Show up for my people.
Yeah, and that hey, at least you don't do your feet for 500.
Yeah.
although the big $1 billion thing, I did see your feet and I was like, man, this got to be pretty awkward for him doing that.
It is, but the thing is, if it would have been like 3 or 4 years ago, this is going to be maybe too much information. But 3 or 4 years ago, I had awful fungal infections on my feet, and I just didn't take care of them, and they had lasted for almost 10 years. And then as I was going through my divorce, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be single, and there's no way I can show these feet to a prospective woman that is going to like me. So I went through this whole regimen. It took 9 months of antibiotics and just a bunch of finally, so my feet, prettied up. So that's why I wasn't afraid at all to show my feet. But if it would have been 2 or 3 years before where, my toenails are disgusting, like most people are, and most married guys have terrible toes. But I was ready to go. I was like, all right, my feet look good. So I'm not afraid to show my feet.
That's pretty awesome. But another question for you. After you're done with your stream, obviously, how do you deal with a typical Giants loss? Or do we see it all?
Well, if you saw against the Broncos game, I did not deal with it well.
Yeah. You and me talked on Twitter that night after that one part happened.
Yeah, and it was bad, and I'm not going to run away from what happened. I think I let my emotions get the better of me. I think I let someone rage bait me. And the one thing that I've gotten better and worse at this. Like when you're a creator and people say mean things to you, everyone's like, take the high road. But that's also like that's like not holding them accountable. Right. It is better for your sanity. And the one thing I learned from that is, all a hater wants to do is take from you, and what you should give them is nothing. And that's why, for a while, I didn't respond to anyone. I just kind of, if someone said hate, would say any type of hate to me, it's really unfair when someone says something vile towards you or insulting, and you have the responsibility to not respond to them. When really inside you want to type out something awful, like you want to say some awful things to them, especially when you are capable of thinking awful things. But at the same time, you got to be like, all right, this person's miserable. Like you actually end up feeling sorry for them, because they're someone who has so much hate that they have to share it to someone they don't even know, right, for giving their opinion. But to answer your original question, I know I'm getting off on a tangent, is I usually decompress if it's a game where they should have won. That's the hardest to deal with, because you're looking at all these opportunities where you're like, oh my gosh, how did they blow this lead? But the problem I have is the Giants have been so irrelevant. Like before we even start, I'm already resigned to them losing. So I'm kind of pre-cooked right there. And but when the Giants are good, if they drop a playoff game or something like that, I usually like to take 20-30 minutes to just kind of think about the game, analyze it. But after that, I'm completely done with the game. I don't think about it much. I don't even try to pretend that I should let it bother me. I used to be really, that one playoff loss, I think in 2002. I was upset for a couple weeks after that because they blew a 38-14 lead, you know, and you keep replaying like what could they have done differently? What type of plays, especially that last play. But now I don't let things bother me that much. Like I think it's better to just celebrate and revel in the wins and then move on from the losses.
When the 30 or 13-second game happened, I was like up and down, up and down, up and down. And then after it ended, I kind of just sat there for like a good 2 hours. I was like, I couldn't even like talk, do anything. I was just like dumbfounded. I'm like, how?
Yeah, and sometimes I imagine, what the players are feeling in that locker room. Like if we're as fans are that devastated, some of the players that really care, others players, they don't give a shit. They're just like whatever, some of them don't even like playing football. But I think a player that's passionate, like I feel bad for I've made a lot of money off of 28-3, but I can't imagine the incredible grief that Matt Ryan has felt his whole life when he was this close to winning a championship. Like, and he's got it. There's got to be times where he wakes up in a cold sweat where he's like, I should have done that different. And he's got to live with that, for especially, as a fan, when you're watching and you don't care as much, you're like, wow, that's a great game. Like that game, the 13 seconds was a fantastic game. As a fan, you didn't know what was going to happen. But I think, there's times when I'm watching games is like, I would not want to be a fan of either of these teams right now because the stress level, I mean, Super Bowl 46 was one of the most stressful games. There's times where I just wake up and I'm like, what if Gronk caught that ball in the back of the end zone? How destroyed would I be? Like I still have nightmares about that. And it's hard to, I'm so neurotic that sometimes I can't even enjoy a win even 12 years later.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Hear you on that. Well, I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite tailgate snacks and or drinks?
Ooh, I like anything that's free, to be honest. But tailgate snacks, like I like meatballs. Those are great. Like if you're walking by a tailgate and someone's got meatballs and you just stick your toothpick in there and you're like, hell yeah. Any type of as long as the drink is cold, like as long as it's like a cold water or something like that. I don't really like to drink alcohol at tailgates just because I'm gonna be in especially if I'm going to attend the game because I'm gonna be pissing like the whole time. So and I don't want to get drunk and belligerent and stupid. Um Tailgate. Like a hot dog's always good. A glizzy is always gonna be solid for me. So I won't turn down a glizzy on the tailgate. And then, of course, chips, salsa, chips and cheese, any type of nacho. You got the Tostitos. I'm hanging out on your tailgate for sure.
All right. So I don't know if this is really a good question for you, but do you get to any Giants games ever?
I haven't been up to MetLife. I usually, once every 3 years or so, I'd go to FedEx because I live in Virginia. I don't live in Jersey or New York. Like it would be just too prohibitively expensive to live up there. And my kids are all down here and stuff. But usually, when the Giants are somewhat decent, I've seen a lot of games from FedEx. I remember Eli Manning threw for 4 touchdowns and rushed for a touchdown one time. It was either a Thursday night or a Monday. I think it was a Thursday night game, and it was a joke. Like I was laughing so hard from the opening. I remember when he ran a draw up the middle and scored a touchdown. I was like, okay, that is just insulting, and it felt great because my ex-wife was a Commanders fan. or Redskins at the time. Hopefully I don't get you demonetized, but she I that was very fun to watch because the Giants kicked their ass.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Very good. I got this next one. I saw someone super chat this into you during that Raiders Giants game, and I was wondering, are you also a Chiseled Adonis fan? Do you frequent his content at all?
Oh yeah, I mean I've known Chiseled for gosh since 2019. I want to say he was one of the first guests on the dumpster fire because him and Tree are both Steelers fans. So I mean I've met Chiseled many times. We played together on the Melon Ball, the Melon Heads. That's the promotion I do every year, the charity baseball game. So Chiseled is one of the greatest guys on earth. He will give you the shirt off his back, and I just love that dude, and I love his content. It's hilarious. What part of the game is this? Like he's one of the funniest people, both online in persona, and his real life persona is no different than it's online. I've met several creators where you're like, you're not anything like you are on camera. But most of the ones that I know are the exact same.
I want to ask: is Tree just as funny off camera than on camera?
No, Tree's awkward and weird off camera, and he'll be the first to admit it. Like he is a different person when he's alone and in his room. Like he's hilarious. He's the kind of person that needs to be in his environment and comfortable, and then the true Tree comes out. But like in certain social situations, and he'll admit this, so I'm not throwing shade at him at all. He can make things awkward, and it's okay. I love him to death. He's my best friend in this industry, and we've done so much work together over the past decade, really. And but I wouldn't say he's different than he is on camera, but in social situations, he's that guy that was like the king of the nerds in high school, like the one guy that was cool enough to stand up to all the bullies and stuff. Like that's what he's like in real life too.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he's
Yeah,
equally, he'll admit. Go ahead.
I love when you guys do the shit-tacular draft together.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun because so much happens on that night that you can't predict. It's pure drama and it's pure fun, and it's the night where we get the most audience. Sometimes 5,000-10,000 people will watch us, and it's amazing. I think at one point, I'm not sure if these numbers are correct, but last year we had like up to 40,000 people at one point. So it is, and the thing about that is like you're still in your studio. It's still like you don't even think about the magnitude of what's happening. You're just doing your job, and that's one thing that I noticed too. Like I know this is another tangent, but when I went to AT&T Stadium, they let us out on the field, and you see the stadium all around you, and you're like, you get it. Like you get how they can perform in this environment because at the end of the day, even though there's a ton of people watching, like a football field's a football field, a baseball field's a baseball field. The guy throwing the ball at you is not a fan. Like you're not thinking about it at all. Like it's very easy to just forget anyone's out there, to be honest with you.
Right, for sure. Speaking of stuff like that, we actually have another question for you like that, but I'll let Brian take his next one because I think that's a little bit down in the order.
Okay. Next question I got for you is, what is your favorite Adult Swim program? I saw you getting into this a little bit during that Raiders Giants game. You were mentioning the Family Guy South Park debate there for a little bit, and I just figured, hey, might as well get a window into Five and see what he likes.
Gosh, Archer was fucking great, man. Archer was really good. I think I've rewatched Archer through many times. Family Guy's great. Space Ghost was great with Brack. I think Brack was just a hilarious character. But I think I'm gonna go with Archer for my favorite.
I know you had mentioned Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's one of my personal favorites as well, with the fries, the meatball, and the shake.
Yeah. That's also a great one, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
as many. I haven't had time to. That came a little bit after me, But it's great. They've built quite the brand. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But James, go ahead.
Uh, so I don't know how many NFL stadiums you've been in. I know you've been in a few at least. So which one was your favorite to be in?
Ooh, I haven't made as many rounds in NFL stadiums as I would like. They're just so cost prohibitive. Like you're looking at a lot of dollars. AT&T Stadium was amazing as far as an NFL venue. I was impressed. The only thing I really didn't like about it is in order to get from one section to the other, you can't, it's a dome, but you can't really stay indoors. They want you to go outside of the stadium and walk around and then come back in. Unless you have special access to the areas which we did, you can't stay in the air conditioning, and it gets hot in Texas. And I get it, like they're like, it's fucking Texas, man, like walk outside. But uh-oh, Matt Stafford just got picked. And that's going to be a pick 6, I think. No, he's going to step out of bounds. No, did he stay in? Sorry, I'm watching the game. Oh, they're going to count it. That's a pick 6. I was really impressed with did you put money on this game? Did you
No, we play each other in a weekly draft league, and it's our championship round, and I have Matthew Stafford.
And
Oh.
we happen to meet each other in the final. Yeah. So that's a good thing for me, a bad thing for James. Yes.
Yeah, that's -2 right there, buddy.
But you have the Rams defense, so
They will give up a point there. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so I thought AT&T was great, but like a lot of the stadiums I've been, Giants Stadium is gone now. The Metrodome is gone now. So I haven't really been to it's eventually my goal to visit all 30, but it's hard because the tickets are expensive.
Right. Not that this is probably the best idea with what your channel is, but maybe going when it's a concert, it could be a little cheaper.
Could be, yeah. I could get some nosebleed tickets and just pretend to like, Cardi B or whatever, and just walk around.
Well, her tickets are expensive either way. She needs to make money. She's got babies now.
Yeah, it could be some like cover band. It could be like the Neville Brothers or some shit, and I'll just be like, all right, I don't care about this. I'm gonna just explore the stadium and find
or
some
fun thing to always do if you're like coming to Buffalo Stadium, and I'm sure they're gonna put it in the new one too. We have Wingfest every year. That's a fun time to come down for. And we
all
have
right, I do want to go do the experience. Like I think at some point my content is gonna be. He stepped out of bounds, by the way, so they're not gonna call this a pick 6. At some point I definitely want to take in a game and make my content about visiting every stadium. I think
that would be a lot of fun.
The next level. Yeah. And I think a lot of people will watch it. It's just it's expensive, you're outlaying a lot, and you better make it up on views and revenue, and we're not there quite yet. So
yeah. And then I have one other question about sports venues. So not just NFL, this is all sports venues. So I'm sure in your experience of life, what is your favorite sports venue you've ever been to?
Ooh, Wrigley was fantastic. Fenway was also really good. Favorite sports venue. That's a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with Wrigley just because it's so iconic. It was I went second to last day of the season. It was like late September. It was freezing, and the ivy was like dying, and it was still amazing. Like it was still really good.
Was that during the playoff season, or
what's that?
Was that during when the Cubs made the playoffs?
Oh, they were bad. I think this was 2012 before they put together the run, before they renovated the stadium. But the staff was so friendly and just welcoming. I got a last minute ticket. It's in a cool part of town, like you just take the L and you get there, and like Wrigley's an experience for sure. I had a great time.
I would love to go there one time. I would love to see them versus New York Yankees. Like that would be a dream matchup for me.
Yeah,
because I'm a Yankees fan. But
okay.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I got to see them play the Cardinals back in 2018, right around August. So it was beautiful out, and it was a 7 o'clock game. Just Chicago that time of the year, getting to see the Cubbies in Wrigley. Just the history in that stadium too as well. Like you said, it's something I feel like you got to go there to see. You maybe got to appreciate the history of baseball too a little bit, and the fact that stadium's been around for so long, the players that have played there over its history and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more there. But we're gonna move on to our next game here. I wanted to do a little word association with you.
Okay.
I wanted to give you a player or a person, NFL wise, and I just wanted you to give me some thoughts, just your most immediate reaction. Think of this as like a therapy session. I'm gonna hold up a picture with a name, and you're just gonna tell me what you think.
Okay. Do you have a delay on this? Can we edit anything if I drop another slur?
I,
I'm
I
just kidding.
have.
I'm kidding. I'll control myself. I won't. I don't think that way. All right. I
I
will be
love this guy.
fine. All right.
Hey, we can take it wherever you'd like to take it, Five. But the first guy I have on this list is Ashton Genty.
Ooh, Ashton Genty is gonna be just a solid, solid. I'm gonna say that.
Okay,
Do I get one word or just multiple
one
words?
word. Yeah, I would think one word.
I would say give us your most immediate reaction. So if it's one word, great. If it's I can't stand this guy, drop him, eject him like they did in Sparta, then I will go ahead and say that, right? So
Yeah.
So
It's
the
really
next one we got.
convenient that that guy stood next to the edge in the movie. It's just
Right.
like he could have stood anywhere, but he stood right next to the edge.
All right. The next one we got for you is Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, inconsistent but improving. He's
Okay.
been really good. That he's starting to become the quarterback that a lot of people thought he would be.
Next guy on this list, also looking like a late bloomer, Kenneth Gainwell.
Ooh, kind of indifferent to him. As long as he's as long as he's not burning the Giants, I'm just like, all right. He's
All
solid.
right.
He's solid.
So here's a questionable one for you. George Pickens.
Incredible talent. He is single-handedly, you know, making up for the loss of a lot of receiver talent for the Cowboys. They got him for a steal. He's also a malcontent, but his talent is unquestionable. And when he wants to play, when he wants to be a beast, he's an absolute monster. Him and CD Lamb is concerning and scary if you're a Giants fan. Like they're very good together. But yeah, I mean, as long as you can keep him sated, he is definitely a diva. He's got the diva complex, but man, he's a guy that can get you far if you use him correctly.
And then in a similar vein, DK Metcalf.
Ooh, guy needs to control his temper. Like he needs to rein those emotions in. I don't have much room to talk. I'm I had an outburst, but I think DK is also incredibly talented, and he also does a lot of the things that you want to see a receiver do, the little things. Um, he's very much a vertical talent. He doesn't, but he's a good player. I just think he's costing his team big time though with that outburst because they need him right now.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next one we got for you is Dave Gettleman.
Gosh, I don't think he was an idiot. I just think he was incompetent. Like there's some people that I don't know how to say this. Like he made a lot of bad moves that never paid off. He made some good moves that really screwed up. He hit a home run with James Bradbury. He drafted Daniel Jones, which, Jones ended up being a pretty good quarterback, but I just think Gettleman was incompetent. I don't think he was an idiot. I think he knows football. He built a Super Bowl team in Carolina. He just pulled some bad levers, and then unfortunately in the NFL, if it don't work out in the first 5 years, you're gone.
Right. Sure.
Well,
Go ahead,
sticking with that same regime, the next name is Joe Judge.
Absolute moron. Like, and I don't understand why. And it wasn't his fault. Like, some people are just in positions that they shouldn't be in. And he was promoted from a special teams coach all the way up to head coach. It seemed like they wanted to tank those 2 years. Like, they weren't really necessarily interested in winning, because otherwise they would have hired like a real coach. But I think I don't think he's, again, like, yeah, I said moron because he was outgunned as a head coach, but he's probably a decent special teams coordinator. You don't get that far without knowing some football.
Right. We got Brian Daboll.
God. There's a touchdown to Nakua. Daboll, I would say just unlucky. Incredibly bad luck, but in the NFL, you make your own luck, and he put himself in position a lot of times for luck to burn him. And the first year when they went 9-7-1 or whatever, or 9-6-1, no, it was 9-7-1. Yeah, he got lucky. He got lucky in his favor, and then after that, a lot of bad things happened. So I don't think he forgot to coach. I think he might get another opportunity somewhere, either as an OC, and he's a great OC. It's just he was snake bitten in New York, and unfortunately that cost him his job.
I wanted to follow up with you real quick. Do you think a lot of it? Do you think that he, like, say the Giants weren't in New York, right? Say they were in like a non-crazy market like New York itself. Do you think he'd probably still have a job, just for Jackson Dart's case?
Not with the results. Like, if he was, say, the coach in Arizona or something, I don't think his results are acceptable. He's like 14-38 or something over a 4-year period. Like, that's just not acceptable in the National Football League. If you're gonna have one playoff season, and then when the arrow's trending down, this year they had to at least improve upon last year, and they didn't even come close to that. And that would cost you your job. And look at Doug Peterson. I think they made the playoffs 1 year, and then he's gone after 3 years. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. They also made the playoffs, and they were trending down. So the league doesn't market doesn't excuse incompetence anymore.
For sure.
Fair.
All right, go ahead, Brett.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, before we close that chapter on the management and coaches, I just wanted to ask a forward-looking question, Giants-wise, and that's the word association to Joe Shane.
Oh, I thought we did him.
Gosh, I think he's gonna be. I think this is his last year. I think if they turn it around, maybe he gets, but they would have to turn it around big. Like, they would have to, have an 11 win or some type season next year. And I don't know if this team is going to, it's possible. Look at the Patriots. I think maybe a really good coach coming in, or at least stability, a stable coach coming in. Rams just scored a touchdown. A stable coach coming in and proving that a lot of this problem was Daboll and a little bit of personnel. But if they don't make the playoffs next year, then he might get fired during the season. So that could very much happen, especially if it starts going south really quick. You got it when it's clear that your GM is incompetent. You got to get rid of them right away so that you start fixing things right away.
All right, now we got 5 positive things for you.
Okay.
What are your honest thoughts on Jackson Dart?
I think it's good. I mean, I think they got a steal. They traded up for him. They got him at 20, I believe. I think this Mendoza talk is nonsense now that they've, he kind of played himself out of that dilemma because he's, of course he's not going to just give up with his job online. He wants to be the quarterback in New York. He wants to keep things the way they are. But the talk about Mendoza, I think, was ridiculous. I think that's just a lot of Giants fans are just stupid. You get this many fans, there's going to be some dummies in the bunch. I think he's our quarterback going forward, and unless he can't, and he's got to rein in his recklessness, but I think he will. I think they'll work on him. I think whoever the new coach is will work on him pretty succinctly to get him to slide and avoid getting his concussion every evaluation every 2 games, which is scary.
For sure.
Well,
Go ahead, Brian.
Up next, I have the other half of what Chiseled Adonis calls the exciting whites, and that is Cam Scadam.
Yeah, he brought excitement back to New York. He brought something to look forward to every Sunday, and then his ankle got destroyed, like the Death Star. And you're just hoping that he comes back next year healthy. He's gonna not have a long career, unfortunately. Like he's probably gonna be a 3-4 year sensation in the league, but you got to squeeze the lemon while we can. He's a hard runner. He's a hard player. He's absolutely fearless, which is, going to end up costing him later. But you want to see someone like that who's just willing to give it all for your team. And he did, unfortunately, give it all. And it wasn't even, him being a dumbass. It was just an unfortunate play. So, but I'm really excited for him and Dart to come back next year.
All right. And to close out your trio of young studs, Malik Neighbors.
Neighbors is going to be good. Like he was fantastic last year. Just an unfortunate incident where he tore his ACL. That was a huge blow. I think they might draft a top flight receiver in, with that first round pick. If they don't trade down, if they don't see anybody that they like, I personally would like them to take either a guard or a tackle. But if they can get a dynamic weapon in the first round to pair with Malik, I think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to go in free agency. He's earned a good contract with another team. It's just not going to be this one. The Giants are already in cap hell. They need to let Slayton and Robinson go, pick up a top flight receiver in the draft, hope that Malik Neighbors stays healthy, and just kind of fill in with the slot guy. Maybe Hodgkins can play it, who knows? But I think Neighbors will be back with a vengeance next year.
We're going to move over to the other side of the ball. Again, I think this one's going to warm your heart as well, Five. Brian Burns.
Absolutely incredible. I think they used him in the right place this year. He's set up beautifully. 16.5 sacks. He might get a couple on Sunday just for bragging rights. He's been a revelation, and he's somebody that we're going to look forward to having on next year. So I think he's our best player on defense, and he's a game changer. It's nice to have a guy like that on the team. And the one thing that I love about him is he finishes sacks. He doesn't let guys get out of his grasp. He's like, no, you're going down.
And I got one more pass rusher for you. I'm going to go with Abdul Carter.
Carter's developing. Him and Burns are going to be incredible. It's really disappointing that Thibodeau's not out there, especially these last kind of games, to see what you have in Thibodeau. But if you have Carter and Thibodeau develops, and then you have Burns, like that is we haven't had. And then somehow, I don't know if McFadden it could come back. That was a sneaky big loss to the team, is losing McFadden, because then Okereke, who ironically got a pick on Sunday. Like Okereke is the worst pass coverage, one of the worst pass coverage linebackers I've ever seen. And he gets a pick in that game, and it's amazing. Like he, don't get me wrong, he's a great run stopper. He can come off. He can come up through the A or B gap. He can rush the pass, but in coverage, he's extremely weak. and having McFadden back there who could do both, and then he gets injured again, not good. So, but I think the Giants will retool next year and they'll be better on defense. But the secondary is still a massive mess. You got a lot of question marks about the secondary. Newbin, I don't know if he's back. Drew Phillips is looking like a bust. Cordell Flott's your only decent corner. Dane Belton's going to get a job. I guess going to see a lot of minutes next year. But they've got a lot of question marks in that secondary, and for a highly drafted secondary, they were not good this year. I mean, we wasted Deontay Banks just being hot garbage. Like it was tough to watch this year.
Yeah. Well, I've got one more for you here. Again, I hope that this one warms your heart a little bit. You didn't play all that much this season, but Jameis Winston.
Winston's a national treasure. I hope that he is Dart's backup next year, because the sound bites coming out, the true actual friendship that him and Jackson have is remarkable to watch. And I love how everyone forgets that Jameis groped an Uber driver. Like it's just completely forgotten in everyone's narrative. It's like, oh, that's just Jameis being Jameis. Come on now. But I think it's fun to watch him and listen to him. He's definitely someone who has zero self-awareness, and it's great. It's refreshing.
Well, as a quick follow-up, tell me your thoughts. We were playing the Detroit Lions. They pull a trick play where they have Gunnar Olszewski throw Jameis Winston the ball on the left-hand side of the field. I believe it was Brian Branch that he trucked on his way into the end zone. Talk to me. I remember seeing that play and saying to myself, what in the world are we doing here? Do we have a new wide receiver one on this team? Go play that back in your brain, and what were you thinking as you saw that?
I was shocked. I was like, what is going on, for one? Number two, Jameis's moves at the goal line were incredible. Not only did he just get up there and grab it, he came down with it, put some moves on, and then trucked a guy, got into the end zone. Like Jameis, I think, is a sneaky great athlete, and if he wasn't a quarterback, he probably would have been a wide receiver. I mean, all of a sudden, like, you just forget how athletic a lot of these and how big a lot of these quarterbacks are, because they a lot of times they just hand off the ball or they chuck it. But Jameis is a big dude, and he made that play, and I was very happy. What's crazy is Jameis Winston and Deontay Banks both have more career touchdowns than Jalen Hyatt receiving, or just period. Gunnar Olszewski had 2. Yeah.
Just a huge swing and a miss there on Hyatt. But I'll end the conversation there, both in terms of our talent, but also in terms of how that Detroit Lions game went, because that was probably the end of the goodness in that game.
That game was fun.
Yeah. James, we had a couple of questions here just to send Five out. Looking forward to the new year. Did you want to kick us off with that?
Yeah. So, Five, what is your biggest goal for 2026?
Oh, I guess I wrote down all my goals, which I do every year. Let me see if I have it in my notes here. I just have some targets that I want to hit. I want to get to 425K on YouTube, 50K on Twitter, 70K on TikTok, and 60K on Instagram. And these are things I've been working for. And then I want consistent view counts on my long form content. Like, those are things I just kind of need to tighten up. These are the kind of things that I do every year, and just kind of reset and look for where I can improve, what I can do better, where my audience is responding. And the streams are fun, and we do those all the time, but I'm looking forward to growing those as well, both this year and next year. So those are my numerical goals right there.
Awesome. Go ahead, Brian.
Very nice. And then I saw that you're ending 25 on the right foot with that Christmas gift to your girlfriend. I saw that book that you got for her, and
Yeah.
it looks like she's
Yeah.
enjoying that. But what are 3 things that you're thankful for heading into 2026?
Oh gosh, I'm really thankful for my audience. Like that, the fact that anyone would want to watch me or give me any of their time or attention. Like I think I'm constantly grateful for that. When this is your job, every job has job things with it. Even professional athletes have job things where they're like, I don't want to work out today. Some days I don't feel like writing, but um, I'm very grateful for the audience. Number one, I'm grateful for family, friends, the people around me that support me. Even you guys, having me on, like it's an honor to that you would think of me to come join you, and I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that. And then, oh gosh, last thing is that I'm really thankful for, besides my audience, family, and friends, probably, really good food is like something to be like food is awesome. Like so good. Like garlic. I think I'm really thankful for garlic. I know I'm being facetious, but like garlic and cilantro are really good. No, I'm thankful for my girlfriend and a lot of things a lot of privileged things that I get to do both in my line of work and the people that I get to come across. So I'm thankful for everything. I mean, we're cruising through life, and it's an honor to meet and interact with people positively.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, our last question for you is, what would you recommend for people just starting out? We've been doing this for about a month and a half.
Oh, wow. Consistency is number one, right? I think the consistency is the key. It's sticking to it. If are you doing this once a week, once every, if you've got to say, you know what, we're going to do it every week, and whether 10 people watch it, 100, 200, whatever, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it for a long time, and we're going to do improve one thing each time. We're going to look at it and see, all right, what could we have done better? And just being like, but the only way to learn is to get those reps and just keep going at it and then posting, and then you'll like, it took me 5 years before I got any traction on YouTube. And I thought I was great. I was like, oh, why am I not getting views? I'm so much smarter and talented than this guy. And then I started, then the one piece of advice that I got, there was this one kid, he was like blowing up, and I was like, why is everybody watching his videos? And he said, think as if the whole world is watching your video right now. Would you be proud of that? And I looked at and watched my video, and I was like, holy crap. Like, but that's what's happening when you put out a piece of content, is the whole world has an opportunity to see your content. They're not watching right now, but like, you just look at it, and I saw, like I said, a lot. I had a lot of production issues. So I was like, all right, I need to clean that up. And then I just kept improving one thing each time, and then it all came together in one video, and that video got watched, and I was like, okay, I'm on to something here. So I think, that first started by showing up every day. You know, I think if you've ever participated in any athletics or anything, where you're like, man, I'm not good at this, but you keep getting better by showing up, and you'll see the results for sure.
I just wanted to say thank you for giving us a chance, and it's been a pleasure having you. I was really nervous, but I feel like this went really well.
That's funny.
So,
Anyone being nervous
you're
around
one of
me,
the
that's
biggest
like,
guys
all
out there
right.
now.
No, this was fun. I had a great time, and whatever you need me to do, promote it socially, whatever, just send me a link or tweet at me or whatever. I can tweet it out, and then try to help you get any traction at all. And this was fun. I enjoyed it. So
yeah, Five,
Yeah,
right back
thanks
at
for
you.
having me.
absolutely.
It was awesome to get to bounce some stuff off another Giants fan after another rough season for the team. There's always a lot of conversation. The national media even inserting some of that Mendoza commentary. So it's always good to hear from guys on the ground just like yourself, and make sure that you're grounded in reality when you make some of these takes on your own channels, right?
Yeah, a Scooter is like I'll let him be delusional for everyone. So, but yeah, it was an absolute pleasure, and thanks for having me. And I always enjoy talking to other Giants fans, and I'm rooting for the Bills to make a deep run. I don't know how far they can go, but they're I'm hoping that the only team that plays in New York can represent the state well.
That would be great. Well, my last question for you is: do you have any questions for us?
Hopefully you guys I hope that you're committed to staying consistent. And if you really want to improve here, I would just want to ask you, are you dedicated? Do you really want to do it? And it's okay if you don't, like sometimes, things get in your way, but if you want it, like, I hope that you stay with it.
This is honestly, like, I know it's going to sound cheesy and lame, but this is something I wanted to do for a long time, but I've always been worried to do it by myself, and I'm glad I found someone to do it with. And I know that we're not going to give up no matter what. I mean, we even said,
awesome.
we'd give it at least 3-4 years, even if we're sitting at low views. Like, we enjoy this.
I mean, you might as well tack
It's a lot of
1
fun.
to 3 more on the way that this conversation has gone. We've heard, if you're not in it for 5 years, with the boots on, then what are you in it for, right? So.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah. Best of luck for real.
Well, James.
Thank you. When we get this finished and uploaded, I will send it to you, and we'll try to promote it together.
Okay, awesome.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Well, thank you again, Five.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And with that, we'll wish you all a great night.
All right, good night.